So let's do this. You have the pivot chart, okay, and the pivot table here, okay. You remember the process? How did we arrive at this? So it's selecting the data and go to insert, and then, yeah, not really there. Just go to the snow tickets data. Yeah, right. So you go to the insert, yeah, pivot chart, and pivot table is the option that you select. Okay.
Right.
So what does this give you? This gives you a combination of the information. Maybe I would want you to save this as a different version, not to overwrite the existing Excel that you have.
Okay.
Nice. Still saving. Yeah. All right, it's saved now. So close the formats and click on the pivot table. Right. So you get to choose the fields that you want to show it in the chart. Okay. So here, try to select, maybe go to that dashboard that you have. Try to create one of the pivot. Okay. So you want to ungroup that, the year, maybe you want to do that. Okay, I'll tell you. So go to the file options. Not really, because you would have those three of the things coming up. Okay, file options. Okay, go to the advanced. Right here, you get to see the pivot. Auto combine the pivots. So scroll down. Charts. Okay, and display. Okay, scroll down further. Formula. Okay. So can you go to the what is the first option that you have here? Okay, can you go to the top option, the first one that's available? No, on the left, general. Okay. Here, do you see that interface options when using new workbooks? Okay, scroll down. There should be an option here in the formulas or in the data. Okay, in the data. Yeah, disable automatic grouping of date and time in pivot table. The last option. That's correct. Yeah, tick on that. Okay. Now try to recreate this pivot again. So delete the sheet. Yeah, simply delete that sheet. Okay. And then recreate the same thing again using a pivot chart and table. Right. So what do you have it in closed? What's exactly the data type in the closed?
It's the date, I believe.
It's a date and time. Okay. Oh, I think you have the closed date. Yeah. It's closed month, I guess. Yeah, let's close date. Now you'd get to see all the dates here. Okay. So maybe you would want to filter on the 2022 that you wanted to do. And before that, I would recommend few changes. Okay. So while you get this pivot table, yeah. So in search, what you can do is, okay, maybe I'll give you a couple of tips as well on this. So the first thing, we are going to change how the pivot format works. Okay. Go to the pivot, the design or pivot table analyze. Pivot table analyze. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. All right. You have this enabled already. Right click on the row labels. No, here in the pivot, right click on the row labels. Yeah. So pivot table options, right? Go to the display. Right. So here, check the classic pivot table layout. Okay. See what happens now. So earlier you're having row labels as a title. Now you would get to see the close date. Okay. So that this would give you and clear visually representing in terms of what is the field that we are selecting. Now you would want to select the 2022. So hit a drop down there, and on the text filters, okay, value filters, okay, contains greater than or less than or in between. Okay, label filters. Do you get to see that label filters? Okay, so contains 2022. Yeah, that's it. Right. So here, once this is in, okay, this is by default. You need not change any of the filter, unless you would want to go back to a previous year or maybe so on. Okay, by default, it's going to be 2022 here. Okay, now let's try to recreate one of the pivots, like maybe the close tickets. The count of closed tickets. That's what you wanted, right? The count of tickets. You want to search in tickets?
I'm looking for the number thing. There it is. There we go. Okay.
Okay. So now here, if you want to change the date, okay, maybe the graph should be maybe in a line graph. You can try to change that graph. Right. Okay. This looks similar to what you have now. Okay. Now go to this pivot chart analyze on the top ribbon. Okay. So insert slicer. Right. So there you get to see the dates we have to insert the slicer on. Okay. So select the date. Not closed, a closed date, I guess. Closed date, yeah. Select on that. Okay. So see here what happens is, okay, you get to see you can simply select the ones that you just wanted here. Okay. And there is also bars, that you can have kind of an scroll, from left to right kind of thing. Okay. So this way is what you can do is you can connect this filter in case if it is only closed, but if there is a normal filter by business you want to do it, if you select that filter, all the rest of the things would get filtered by that specific business. Okay. So assuming you in the report connections, you go to the report connections here. Yeah. So it is connected to a pivot table too, which is the current pivot table. You can also connect the same slicer to the other pivot tables which are applicable. I think the pivot table 4 is the task category pivot that has a similar information as well. You can also control that pivot with the slicer. Now, what is a slicer? What does it mean? It gives you kind of a dashboard look, okay, where you could control simply in terms of what you want to filter out, okay, include, exclude kind of a thing. So there is an date kind of a filter, kind of a scroll bar kind of a thing that you get it, instead of this and to and from. Okay, can you quickly check if there is any way that you can give me the control? It's going to be quick. I'll show it to you.
I don't have anything coming up that says I can do it. That's why I was asking if you had a request, because I don't see it give control at all.
Okay, one second. Let's. So you stop the screen share. Maybe let me try to do that and see where do I get the option. Okay, just a second.
Okay.
Stop the screen share. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you joining this through the web or through the app?
Yep, I'm on the web.
Oh, okay. Not sure. So I get to see this remote control on the screen bar itself.
Yeah, I don't have that.
You don't have that. Okay. Okay. All right. So maybe let's resume the screen share. I'll take you through that. I was just trying to recollect the option to share the screen. All right. So so this is where we can we can get to link to the multiple pivot charts. We close the slicer so that whenever you select a specific set of filters, that will get automatically applied over there. Okay. Now let's move on to the other set of things here. Okay. So while we create this, okay, this is the graph that you wanted to have. Okay, now can you go to the slicer settings here on the left hand side? Yeah, right. Okay, so hide items with no data. Can you check on that? Right, that's it. So see what happens here. Okay, so right. So let's move on to the graphs that we have. So you show the last 15 days of the information? That's what you do? Now last 3 days of trend. Last 5 days, right? Is it? Okay. So you can there is a functionality where you can use where you can simply create that. Okay. The last week, yeah, that's correct. Date filters and then last week and then so on. Even in the pivot you could do that. Yeah, it is count itself.
Trying to see why it's not broken up by day anymore. It's just month.
So that is still a pivot, right? Whatever you have it over there, or is it just the data?
Huh?
Is it just the data that you have it for the graph, or is it coming up from the pivot?
This is coming from the pivot. This is a pivot.
That's a pivot, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If you can get the same thing, closed and the number, count of number.
That's what I did. It's not showing up as see, close to number. I don't know why it's coming in as month. So I'm trying to fix filter. A group. There we go. That's it. Group by
Or days, yeah.
That should do it. Date filters. Last week. There we go.
Perfect. Okay. So the slicers can help you to actually filter out the last 7 days of the information. So you already have it on the pivot. However, assuming on the data set you would want to do this, right? The slicers can be a best option for you. This is just a one filter that you have. What if you wanted to give them an interactivity among closed tickets and open tickets in last year? Do we want to do that now? We can do that. Okay. So the data model for this needs to be changed. So if you're actually representing the same way, so is it for an internal report that you do, or is it something prescribed
It's an
in the same
internal
format?
report. We do it every day, and I take screenshots of the graphs and put them into a PowerPoint.
Gotcha. Okay. So what we could do here is maybe this is going to we can mostly automate this. Okay. So this you show it as the last week, the total. Okay, this is the closed tickets. Okay, and moving on to the tickets by associate. What do we see on that?
It mostly is automated. I mean, I have to paste in the data set, and then I just calculate it and refresh the pivot tables. And I really don't have to do anything except for like this, which I have to do manually. And this one where I have to adjust the labels. So it really isn't bad.
Right.
As far
So
as
maybe
what I have to do.
if you can create this, okay, right click on this and then go to the labels. Okay. Right. Okay.
I think
so
because of the chart type, so it's like the with the area underneath, the labels don't fix themselves.
Okay, so what I would recommend is, okay, you try to reset the graph. Okay, format, go to the format on right hand side. Okay, there will be, okay, there's going to be a reset the graph. Okay, can you go to the design itself? Okay, reset to match style. Okay, reset to match style in the format. Okay, go to the format on the left hand side. You got to see this. Yeah. Reset that. Okay, you try to change the dates now. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. Maybe if you want to change the chart type, so it can automatically adjust to the types that you have. Maybe you want to change the format, the way that it looks.
Yeah, it's okay. It really doesn't take me a lot of time. I think they'd prefer to have it this way.
Okay, gotcha.
If I go change, because it goes to higher ups at our company. So
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So I'd spend slightly some time on this. Okay. Maybe if we were to do this by associates. Okay. Do you know maybe this shouldn't be on the on the trend. So usually on the analytics, on the data analytics, on the representation, what we really see is If this is a monthly information, the representation of what you have it here, it makes sense. But it is peer comparison. Maybe if you were to say the the total count of the tickets in a month, maybe if that is what I see it here, right? So that if that is the case, the trend may not make sense. Maybe if you want to do a bubble chart, where it really gives you, I mean, not to replicate what you have, I mean, not to replace what you have right now, but a recommendation chart would be a bubble chart, or there is an area chart. That's something that you could select. That would clearly showcase, what is the total size that has been solved for. Okay, and secondly, in terms of the bubble chart that we show, it gives you the volume. I mean, the circle represents the number of the things. Or even if you want to do this a tree map as well. So if you can go to the maps, I'll quickly spend like quick 2 or 3 minutes on this, so that the representation of the graphs can be done better. I mean, this is an area chart basically.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you can go to the chain chart type. Okay, so this is what you have, and maybe if you want to do an tree map, try to select the tree map here. Yeah, you cannot do this because it needs a different chart type. Okay, it's only 1-to-1 kind of a thing. Okay, we need two dimensions over there. Okay, and all right, or you could do a bar graph with the ascending of it. Okay, where you have, yeah, this could be a right representation of it. Not the stack bar. Yeah, just this. Okay, what does it do is it gives you a total count. Maybe if you want to assign, keep the things assigned or designed kind of a thing, you could still have it. Maybe that chart, because it was taking the data labels, yeah, over there, so you could do that. And if you wanted to arrange the data in such a way that you could maybe on the right click on the 31st Jan on the pivot. Okay, on the pivot, right, and then sort it. No, on the pivot, please. On the numbers 31st Jan, right, right. Sort it, ascending. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you have it. Yeah, just on 31st Jan, right click on 31st Jan, right, and yeah, sort, ascending on. Okay. On the number, if you can select the number. Okay. Control Z. Yeah, just the number. Right click on it. Sort it. What's happening to that? Is it moving around? Okay. I think it's a pivot chart as well, even this one. Yeah, that's fine. See, we can recreate the pivot and then get it out. But usually this is how you can represent it. Maybe if you wanted to highlight, because the trend, I mean the graph, what we had earlier, is not the suitable graph for it. Okay, if you want to do it like ascending or descending, I think that's going to be useful to see. Maybe the associate, who's doing it below average or above average kind of a thing. Even you can draw a median to this. Okay, so you can add a median chart as well onto this. Right click on that, and that would give you various options onto it. Right on the graph, Right. Okay. So all right. So can you go to the change chart type? Now here you would have where the medians are not coming up here. So can you go to the combo at the last? Right. So yeah, can you do that? It's not coming out. Okay, at least two series of data. Okay, maybe if you can have an average things out, so we could select that average one, at the center of the screen. Okay, just cancel this out. Okay, so assuming the average is going to be 25, 15, around say uh, 16 or 17. Okay, we get to see the outliers, who are below the average of the entire associates, and so on. If that is what we want to do, that name and picking up a name and calling them out, right? If you want to do that, that's how you can also create these graphs, right? So they visually indicate, what you want to say it as part of the story. Now, what's the average? What's the team's average, and who's below the average as well? So we can add a trend line, maybe if you can click on the pivot and go to the design of it, click the, no, sorry, pivot chat and analyze. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, sorry, the design. Okay, there has to be an add chat element. Where do you see this error bars with trend line? Okay, click on trend line. Okay. So, yeah, that's linear. Okay. But if you wanted to see that exponential thing, so the linear would directly show you the starting and the other ones. Okay, maybe moving average or something like that. You click on the moving average, the last one, right? So that's okay. You could take up that. So the moving average is basically that. Okay, and the linear forecast or exponential. Okay, it's some. So you can say more trending options. Okay, more trend line options, and then you can add them, or you can create your own trending kind of a thing. Okay. Um, okay it can be an I would strongly recommend the moving average kind of a chart, but it shouldn't be a 2 period or kind of a thing. So it should simply be a period over there. That's where you get to see the graphs. So this is one way of doing it. The other way is you can simply insert a column which calls it as an average, and you could do that average as well, and then put it into a combo chart that would give you an average of it. Okay, so there are multiple ways of representing this information. Okay, and what I would recommend is try to explore these options with the data that you have. Okay, and then take it up from there. That how do we best represent this information? Okay. Right. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. So I hope you have seen these options as well. Now switch rows and columns. Okay. If you can do that, the switch row or column on the data that I see it on the design tab. Yeah. So see what happens is, since it's a pivot table, pivot chart, that you are not able to represent that. But in case you just have a simple data, right? So that's how it's going to be. It's going to change the charts type around of it. Okay, that's assuming you have date towards on the x-axis, and you have on the y-axis maybe the sales, or maybe the persons who have closed the tickets. That would go up. The numbers would come down, and the dates would be on the x and y, and that would replace that. So that's the switch row column here. And in the change chart type, you already are aware of it. So the only one thing which you are having problem with is maybe the I would say the chart elements of it, where we wanted to see the numbers, right next to it. So this is one of the representation, okay? And maybe if you want to go out to the specific columns that we have, where we wanted to drag or maybe change the chart source data. I think there's one of the chart that you showed me. If you can go to that chart, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not this one. There's a chart that you were changing the data source, right? I mean, they're moving up and down of the data. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And this
So
takes me 2 seconds, so it doesn't
yeah.
bother me to do it.
Mm-hmm,
It's literally just these are pulling from elsewhere in the sheet, so I know what to populate it for the day, and then I just drag this down. That's it.
Right.
So
Gotcha. Yeah.
2 seconds, not a
Understand.
big deal.
That's not a big deal. Yeah. So any other issues on the data that data manipulation or the data
Well,
enhancement that you're having with?
we wanna break this up now, so, the SLA for our, tasks is usually 7 days,
Mm-hmm.
but we wanna move it up to, like, 2.5 weeks for a certain type. I believe it's just the, new hire 2+ associates. I have
Mm-hmm.
to verify that with my supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so instead of like, this is our aging,
Mm-hmm.
and so over SLA is this anything 8 days and over.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to change for this type. So I'm not really worried about it, and it's not due at any time, so I have time to just like mess
Okay.
around with it. What I think I'm
Okay.
going to do
Mm-hmm.
is maybe do a like a yes no thing, like is it this type? Is it not this type for each request? Have another column,
Mm-hmm.
and then from there just break out the aging for the reports. So I'm not really worried about it.
Okay.
That's something a little further down the line. But
Sure.
the reporting, it really takes me like maybe like 10 minutes max at the end of
Mm-hmm.
each day. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about it. I was
Yeah,
just
that's great.
wondering if that
That's
was
great.
something we could do in Access. So
Yeah, gotcha. So even we can get this done in the Access database. However, you may not be able to do this the charts as good as that you have it here. Okay. So Access database, it's primarily the data. Maybe on the reports, maybe you can get few of the things, but the changes that you have, the formulations that you have it here, are going to be quite heavy, I would say. So I understand that this is having one more thing that I would want to say, since this is uh, the the test file. Okay, whenever you copy a data, right? Whenever you do a pivot, the entire data comes with it. And what is a file of this size? And what is a file size of this? Should be somewhere around 15, 20 MB or 5 MB. It's 5 MB. Okay, so the yeah, it's just close to 5 MB. So what I would do is maybe if I were you, I would simply delete the pivot that would carry the data. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Okay, just go to the Excel. Okay. This would be quite helpful when you're pivoting a larger sets of data. Okay, assuming you have 100 MB, 200 MB of data. That may not be the current scenario, but later on, if you have any such Excels, right? So what I do is, okay, just go to that, select any other pivot, and tell you where the option is. Okay, your table analyze. Okay, so yeah, right click on that, right, pivot table options, go to data. Right. So here, save source data with file. Okay, if you check this, every time that you do, so which nothing but you have created, say assuming you have 10 pivots, you have created 10 copies of your data at the beginning of the session that I told you, right? In Excel, we're going to copy the data multiple times. This is what is happening. So there's an option that you could disable this. Okay, uncheck that. Yeah. Okay, and say okay to it. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's fine. Right, now save the file. Okay, now look at the file size. It should slightly reduce. Okay, it moved to 4 MB now. Okay, you can further reduce it by doing the same thing with all the pivots. So what really happens here is I'm delinking the data from the pivot table. However, the pivot table is linked to the entire data source. Okay, I'm not changing the way that it works. Okay, you save the file, reopen the file. That's going to refresh automatically for you. Okay, and there's a way to refresh all the pivots. Okay, just go to that Excel.
I have it up here.
Yeah, refresh all. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's where it refreshes. When you click on it. Else there is an option as well. Okay, right click on this pivot and pivot table options. Okay, so go to the data. Refresh data when opening the file. Okay. You click on this, automatically whenever you open the Excel, all the data tabs, all the pivots would get refreshed automatically. Okay, so assuming that you are sourcing this feed directly from an SharePoint list, assuming that you have the snow tickets on the SharePoint and you want to download, and every time you don't have to refresh the like 20 or 30 pivots, right? You simply do this, and then it takes in the order. First the data sets would get refreshed. Second, the formulas right next to the data sets, and third, the pivots would get refreshed. So it goes in the sequence. And when you have larger data sets, this is going to be helpful for you. Okay, and refresh data when opening the file, and uncheck the save source data with the file. Maybe if you want to take a screenshot and store it, uh, you know, just that we're going through that. Yeah. Right. These are the recommended settings. Right. Okay. So while we click on this, there's going to be a lot of other fields, where we have the data to show up and to optimize it as well. Okay, there are further optimizations that we can do. And do you experience that when you copy paste this to a PPT, how do you send it? Do you take a snapshot and then a snippet and then send it on the email, or
Yeah, so I'll use the Windows snipping tool.
Windows snipping tool? Okay.
I'll just
Okay.
do this. For most of them, I can right click and copy. I just need to do it for the ones I have to update. So this one I'd have to do the screenshot of, but this one I can just copy because I have the actual graph over here.
Right.
And then this is a picture of the graph, so I can just right click, copy it, and put it in. So it saves me a few seconds.
Right. Right. So yeah, no. What I'm saying is, now we have just like maybe a 12 graphs or 10 graphs. Okay, assuming you prepare a deck which we have like around 150 graphs. That's a real life use case. Okay, so what really happens over there is we can with the help of the macros we can simply copy paste this out as well. Okay, so if instead of snipping, there are other ways to really paste that. Okay, maybe the ones that you want to snip, maybe simply copy that and paste it as an image. You need not have the snipping tool over there. I can share that with you. Okay, just try to simply copy any of the chat. Right, simply copy that. Okay, go to the PPT.
I right click, change picture from clipboard, and then that's the new one.
Yeah, that's new. That's correct. That's one way to look at, but that's one way to do it. The other way is on the paste. Okay, assuming that you would want to paste it onto the new chat. Okay, Assuming this we don't have it as part of the formats, right? So on the left hand side, on the left hand side, on the pivots, sorry, on the PPT itself, on the pivot, on the paste, sorry, not here, on the left hand side under the home menu, there's a paste. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you see this, the third icon, paste as image. Okay, paste as picture. Okay, so even this can be done, but since you have already the formats, you could simply update that and update from the clipboard, right? And we could also build a quick macros, but that's not really required because the volume of work is quite smaller. Okay, so but I'm telling you these options are available. In case you would want to explore this at a later stage, feel free to do
Right.
that. Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Right. Is there any other example that you wanted to share? And we'll go through that.
Yeah, I do have something that I think would be helpful. I'm not sure, once again, if access is the way, but I think it is. I run the terms every week for our company. So the users who are no longer with the company, we have to remove their access.
Right.
I'm the one in charge of that. And we have this application that someone else made. And let me see this thing. And they did it in Access, and it's called our delete list creator.
Okay.
So I click that. I click a button. It takes me to my files, and I can pick and choose which file I want to upload. So I found an issue in Access with I clicked the wrong thing. With the external data, the saved imports, I found an issue with that because the graphs, not the graphs, the Excel files that I use change week to week or month to month depending on the chart. So I can't do a saved import because it's
Right.
a different file every time. This let me exit out of here. Sorry. This delete list thing lets me choose the file. And then, so that would be helpful because I have to run, well, I'm not really running any queries, but I can run queries based on the user's access. So I know what exactly I need to remove. So I don't know how to make this happen if you know how, but that would be a huge help for me. So I could just come in here and like look up a user. Let me give you a file as an example.
Yeah, if you can give me some example. Yeah, let's see through that.
So, for example, the ESI report. Let's open that up. I have to email an external person who's not with the company in order to have them remove this person's ESI access. So I would come in here, look up the username, and then I need this code and the name. And I have to do it for multiple people to send it out to this one person. I email him, I say, can you remove these users? And then I give them their ID with the name. And then he'll get back to me when he removes the access. So something like that, this changes like on a weekly or monthly basis.
Right.
So if I could have something like that, same thing with security user access reporting, like Navigator. It's read only. Like this same thing. So I would look up the user's either name or their operator ID. And then I need this whole row of information so I could do what I needed to do. I don't mind going in to each, file and, figuring out what it is they need. But if I could have it all in one location where I put the user's name or their LAN ID, and then it just gives me all of this information. So I can show you an example of the output from
Yeah.
that application that I showed you. It's gonna be here, here, here. Open this up. So this is an output of what we get from running that delete list creator. So it goes through, it shows me the user's name and some like loose information, but I need to go into the files again and dig deeper to get even more information. So if I could do something similar to this, and instead of like their email or whatever, I could go in and be like, this is their code. This is, I hope I'm making sense. Like this is their all of their information for Navigator, and just do it on a LAN ID basis, because that would make my life a lot easier when it comes to me doing my delete lists.
Right. Okay. So if you can, so what is the identifier, single identifiers here for the users? It's LAN ID.
It's mostly the LAN ID. Some of them it's not. So like the ESI report, I think it goes based on email address. So we have like the name, but there's no LAN ID in sight. It's just the email.
Okay. So yeah, so it's the two. If I understand this right, okay, there are two sets of reports that you get. Okay, based on that, what is your identifier for the persons whom you need to send a specific email to the persons. So how do you identify that? Maybe take an example. If you can take one example and show it to me. Like,
I believe the email might be linked to the LAN ID in another report. So that's my thing. It's many reports are compiled to do this one delete list. I also have a transfer list that I do as well, but that one's not really necessary for access. So it's pulling from different things and it's combining it. I can't get on the back end of the delete application that they made. I've tried to like dig in to see how they did it. I just can't get there. But it's pulling from, let me open it up again. It's pulling from many reports actually.
So we can recreate that. That's not a problem. Okay. So we can do it in Access database itself. Just that we need to know the logics. Okay. So if there is going to be a specific ID that's going to be an identifier like LAN ID in one report is going to give me a specific email address. Okay. And the LAN ID is going to give me the employee names or the person to contact or the addresses, etc. So the LAN ID is going to be an identifier for us. And now, forget about the number of Excels that you need to import. Okay, it's quite simple. What I'm going to do is maybe we'll create a folder. Okay, say I need. I'll be getting the data from 4 different sources or 5 different sources. Okay. I would name the Excel files as source 1, source 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Whenever I hit a new month, if I'm replacing the source 5, I would not have a different name, and I would simply rename that to source 5 and save it in the same location. So my Access database works like that, and I need not change anything. I did not go to the database or anything. I just need to replace the input data files.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah. So if you change the input file names, okay, instead of it having that appending with a date or whatsoever, you just take like 5 inputs, yeah, call it as specific names, and you try to replace that, the current file with standard names. So the Access is going to work the same way, okay. So delete reports, yeah, and then in the delete reports, I would want you to have the different source files. Maybe we'll give it a new naming convention to it. Maybe can we call it as an maybe in a folder? Can we call it as the input files? Yeah, maybe once you rename, you can in the delete reports itself. No, in the delete reports. Okay. Are there only maybe create a new folder here.
Okay.
Okay. Call it as input source or input data. Okay. Now move this ESI under that input data. Right. Okay. Now go to the bring in the other source of data here. The ESI, you have it. And what is the other source of data?
There's a couple. Hold on.
Yeah.
So one would be that. One would be where is it? Claims office. Copy. QED.
Okay. Now it's going to be our earlier sessions, where we have seen those joins across the data. Now we are seeing the real life examples. Okay, this is more challenging and love it. Okay, let's try to see. Are this the 4 sources?
There's more, but let's start with this so it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't take us forever.
Yeah, sure. So how many other sources do we have apart from this?
Let me see. We have 1 and 2 more.
2 more. Let's get them. In just
okay.
Yeah.
These are the ones I see the most.
Okay. All right. So what are the commonalities across all this? How could we join these tables? What is a common element?
ESI is going to have the email address. Everything else I think is the LAN ID. I'm honestly not sure. I'm going to have to open them and see.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Let's check that.
All right. So this has the 6PR8 number. We have a last name, first name, and that's it. So this one is the name or the 6PR8.
The login
this
ID.
Login
Basically.
ID.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me get rid of this.
So does the UID here? Okay, it's plan 700. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the navigator report. This one has
the PRA information as well, right? The operator ID, which is nothing but.
Yeah, I think. Oh, this one also has the email address.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
And
so that's navigator. ESI has the email. These should have. Let's see. These have the LAN ID. This is claims ops. LAN ID. Same thing with edFX. LAN ID. They also have a last name, first name.
Okay.
So we have 2 LAN IDs there. ESI is the email, Navigator is the thing, and then QEDM should also be LAN ID. Yep, LAN ID.
Okay. Okay. So now, how do you identify the users? Maybe first let's do this. Let's try to link the data. Okay. So QEDM. Okay, that's fine. So close it out. So I would want even the tab names to be the same thing. And if it is not Excel, let's make it to an Excel. I think the extensions are CSV. Can we make them to Excel, please?
Let me just exit out here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's all CSVs, and there's only two. ESI and Navigator are the worksheets. Rest of them are the CSVs. So the problem in the CSV is the tab name comes with a default file name when that it gets generated. So if you can go to the QEDM, try to open that up. Okay, you see a tab name which would be the file name, the earlier file name.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So this is good. QEDM is good. Okay. Let's close this out. And can you go to the other worksheets like the in fact yeah it's the same thing. Okay, so just wanted to be sure that can you go to the Excel sheet, please? ESI. I think this would have a different file name, different tab name, I mean.
Yep, this one has different tabs.
Yeah. So what is the tab that you care for?
It's all of them. I have to search throughout all of them because they're separated by what access the user has.
Okay. So are the headings the same?
Name date added. Yep. The headings are the same for all of them.
Okay. All right. So let's do this. Okay. So first we have okay, now let's go to the other Excel file that we have, Navigator. It just has one tab.
I believe so. Yep, just the one.
Yeah. See here. So the Navigator on the tab name, it has this operator ID list and the date. Okay. Can you change this to Navigator? Just to rename the tab name. Yeah. Going forward, you just paste the Navigator information on this, or maybe you can paste the file, rename the file name and the tab name, whatever works for you, just that it is consistent. Okay. Yeah. So except one of the tab, we have all the information over there, right? Yeah. Now save the Excel, close them out, and then create an Access database. I'd want you to import all the information into the Access. Maybe create a new one. You remember we have done an exercise on connecting the relation among the databases.
Yeah. Wonder why. What did I hit first? Benefit. Why is that an issue? It's renaming my headers.
Okay, so first row contains the field names. Okay, let's try to uncheck that. Or instead of the CSV import, we usually would have that issue. Like I said earlier, right? Create an Excel files for it, and simply, simply get that. You could even do this now. Okay, the first row contains field names. Is if you select that is going to go off. Okay. So, but other than that, what I would recommend is we try to have this in part of the Excel. Okay, just cancel this import.
Mhm.
Okay, so open up the file. Okay, so can we do this? Okay, copy paste. Maybe if you can even maintain one Excel file, I think that's still better, where we can connect to all the data on it. Okay, even that is one of the way that we can look at it, since the data is not quite heavy. So can you copy this and say Control N,
Control what?
Control N, N as in New York, or yeah, you paste it here. All right, rename the sheet to in fact. Okay, that's fine. So insert a new tab here. Okay, now in this I would want you to do Alt D F F.
Alt D.
D as a dog, F and F. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so save it now. Save it as data input on the same folder. No, not this. We're going to have all the data in one Excel. Okay, so just call it as data input. Yeah. Okay. All right. Close the other Excel file that you have. Okay. The data input is done. Okay, let's try to get in the other things here. Maybe insert a new tab. Yeah, and then open this up. I tell you why I have asked you to insert a new tab. Okay, the data that you copy, once you insert a new tab, that goes from the clipboard. Okay, that's the reason I want you to insert a new tab before you copy the data or open the file.
Okay.
Yeah, open the second file, climb ops. Sit here and rename that to claim ops. Okay, so now do an Alt DFF. Yeah, the claim ops. No, on the claim ops, please. Yeah. No, you need to select this. The cell need to be on A1. A1. Yeah. Now do yeah. Oh no, that's going to the second. That's weird. Okay. So select the A to E. Just the A to E. Yeah. Or even that's better. Yeah. Do that. That's fine. Now save this. Right. So open the other data source. Yeah, you want to do that on DFF here, just to select the data. No, it's DFF. Yeah.
I know it's giving me a hard time whenever I do that. This is faster.
All right.
ESI is the one with the multiple.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that.
Or should we keep the ESI separate? Because I feel like this is
I think
going to
yeah,
take me a lot of time.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep the ESI separate. Okay. And navigator. So after this, I'm going to give you a code. We can build a code, macro code to even change this out. Okay, you need to do this manually. So, all right.
Last one.
Is the shared drive not in the same location as you work on the VPN?
Is what?
Is the shared drive the edge drive that you are working on?
It's not shared, the H drive. It's my personal like cloud drive, I guess. The one that I work from with all these other folders is a different drive, FAPO2.
Gotcha. So rename this sheet and then save it out. Right. Sure. Let's input that onto the Access database.
Okay.
Because it's going to be quite simple, to input the Access database, from Excel.
Should I do from file or no?
From my file. Yeah, Excel.
This one. Okay.
Okay, you need to do it like 4 times, and that's when you can save the steps. Okay.
Okay. So this first one's benefact. Settings.
You have it. Yeah.
It's doing it again.
Okay, then let's go to the data. I think there is something that's on the headers that we are having an issue with. Okay, let's go check that out. Does it have a forward slash or a space, or there's an
Nope, maybe this
tab? There's a tab. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they all have tabs.
They all have tabs. Crap.
Why do they do that? Well, I guess the.
Okay, I'll recommend you one thing. Okay, here. So this is going to be the case even with the headers as well. Maybe we could, if you could change it on our file, maybe the benfact could be a copy paste. Okay. So,
yeah, that's what it's going to have to be.
Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah.
Sure, I get it all.
Maybe do you want to do that on the file that we have, not the source file, on the data input file?
You.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I would recommend that you insert a new row, okay, on the benefact, okay, insert a new row at row number 2,
At row number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Insert, okay. Say equal to, on the first row, equal to trim, TRIM. Okay. Open brackets and select A1.
A1?
A1 cell, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that cell.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Right, yeah. And then close the brackets. Okay, right. So copy this to the foremost right.
Looks like it ends there.
Let's
calculate that.
Copy paste this as values onto the cell number 1. Paste as values. Yeah. There you go. And can you check the? Oh, it still has. Okay. No, I don't think the copy paste did happen. Okay. Not sure. Okay. No, it's not number format. It's values.
This is values.
Yeah, that's.
It just has values. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's correct.
Maybe the tab doesn't count as the trim.
1 second. Let me take that out. Okay. Just give me a second. I'll give that formula to you. Okay. So can you do this? Can you go to the? Okay, delete the row number 2. I think that's not taking up. Okay. Right. Delete that. Okay. Now select the row number 1 completely. Okay. And go to the control H. Hit on control H. Okay. So in the find and replace dialog, try to hit the Alt and type 0009.
009?
Yeah. Is something working out for you?
Doing it, nothing's happening.
Okay. 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 So maybe, do you have a numeric keypad?
Like the 1 through 9 thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that.
You have that, right? Okay. So hold on Alt and type in 0009 on the using the keypad.
Yep, that's what I'm using.
Okay. Is the numlock on?
Yes.
Okay. So Alt and 0009 and release the Alt. That doesn't work. Okay. Okay.
It's okay. I don't mind going through it one time.
Yeah. If you can go through that, yeah.
If I'm copy and pasting in the future, I will only have to do this today.
Yeah. Okay, can we do this and trim and clean and this cell? Okay, if that works, then one last attempt.
Do what?
Trim, open brackets, clean, CLEAN, and A1. If you can do that.
Okay.
Did we change that? The cell, okay, trim and clean, yeah, and open brackets and the A1.
Okay.
Right, and close brackets, again bracket close. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Now.
Hey.
It works?
Did it. Yep.
Yeah, that's good. So which means the import was from the system which was quite old. It was taking that NC3 decoding. That's when we have this issues. Okay, so yeah, you can use this function. Usually the trim should work. If that's not the case, the trim should work usually in most of the cases.
Excellent. All right, let me save this. Might as well check the other ones while we're here. Good. It was just that one that was a little messy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just a one-time activity. But good to remember that formula.
Yeah,
Trim
I wrote it
clean.
down.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, so this is the benefact. First row. Look at that. Lovely. Yeah. Okay, so this one does look like it's a
I think that there's an ID. That's not that's fine. I mean, you can live with that.
Would you recommend using this as the
no primary key? No primary key.
No primary? None.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not required.
Next.
Yeah. So yeah. Finish. Okay. Once you finish, save import steps. Okay. Yeah. Do that. Import data input. Okay.
Save it.
Right. Okay. The same thing. Repeat it again.
Claims ops. Field name. No.
Yeah. The Excel imports are majorly going to be clean. That's why I prefer the Excel. But assuming if the data is too huge, then we're going to have a problem on that.
So the import steps, is that on a database to database thing, or will that be in all of my Excel?
So it'll be on database.
Okay, good.
So if you see the saved imports, okay, you'll be able to see that easily.
Okay.